Kaina, and welcome to Voices of Truth One-on-One with Hawaii's Future, brought to you by the Kiwani Foundation. I'm Ahuke Kahu Cardwell, and here we are today in Waimanalo on the island of Oahu. And I'll tell you this right now, we have a fascinating guest on the show, so let's go on over here and meet him. Scotty, aloha.
Great to see you.
Nice to meet you. Scotty Reis-Moniz, did I say your name right?
Correct.
Great, and Scotty, tell us where we are right now.
We're in a beautiful God's country. That's how we know it in Waimanalo. In Waimanalo, this is a place where a small section in Waimanalo called Kai'ona Beach Park.
Kai'ona Beach Park.
Kai'ona Beach Park. A lot of historical sites, a lot of history, and then this is where we practice for our keikis. Our kids come here because this is one of the safest grounds to having the canoes to take off and not being overwhelmed by the waves.
Wow.
Yes.
So Scotty, you're part of a canoe club here, yes?
Yes, Waimanalo Canoe Club.
Wow. And how long have you been doing that?
We've been over 20 years, I would say about 20, 25 years. My brother and I is my twin, Nolan. He's the head coach and he takes care of everything from Molokai. So he's the coach in the water and I'm the coach on the land. So I do everything Mauka.
Wow.
So I love to do the hands-on cultural activities and programs and building relationships out here in the community. So we can both focus on what we do best. And that's what we've been very successful on, building the community program where it's not only focused on the sport, it's focusing on what the community have been really valued for, the culture and everything that comes with the canoe. So when you're in the water, it's a sport, but when you're on the land, what did the canoe bring? You have it from when it was time of the kings for warfare, the time for traveling, like how we do with the hokolea, and also our fishermen today, they use it for fishing, and then we use it as a modern day for sport. So in that sense, we want to bring all that aspect. We want them to know everything about what the canoe has meant to us as the people. And being in a Hawaiian community, Hawaiian culture, and we have been blessed with our community. They support us way above our cup can handle. So we love where we're from. And then we're actually doing things that we learned from other canoe clubs, like Maui, and then we're also partnering with other canoe clubs like Helani, like Kailua, like canoe clubs that's Leeward Kai, that do the programs that actually put you ingrained with the culture. All the nonprofits, we try to build a relationship. They help teach our kids more about the culture. That's so important that we lost, that we have lost that connection.
How long have you, Scotty, been a paddler?
I've been paddling since I was a kid. Our family grew up paddling for Waikiki Surf Club. That's
Really?
like our mother club, because my mom paddled Oma Reis-Moniz, and my sister paddled Georgette Reis-Moniz, who were some of the first women to paddle competitive and then paddle in the Molokai crossing.
Wow.
With some of the great legends in canoe paddling who took the women's program to another level, where it was only the men could do the Molokai crossing.
And so how long has the Waimanalo Canoe Club been around?
We've been around since 1969.
Wow, long time.
Yes, a lot of the community members here used to paddle and they came and they created this program. We just taking it from there and bringing back the Hawaiian culture side of it besides the sport. Here's some of our canoes that we have. One of our oldest one is the Malea mode, which is called the Kekelani.
This one right here?
Yes.
Wow.
Kekelani is the Malea mode, which is, everybody talk about the Malea, which came from Waikiki Surf Club.
And how old is this canoe, Scotty?
This fiberglass canoe is
yeah.
over 25 years.
No kidding.
Over 25 years. We've been just upkeeping it. And we use it for our kids program, so we can be safe. And the other canoes that we have here is more modern, from the Hawaiian Racer, the Miki Ala, to the most Hawkeye and Kalewohi and Uhane.
Scotty, do they still build canoes from fiberglass?
Yes.
Really?
There's several people that do fiberglassing of canoes to this day, and some of them compete and they have some great value out there. So a lot of the canoe clubs work out programs with them and projects. So it's been really helpful for the community in the canoe paddling, all helping out each other.
Wow. All right, so this is a double-hulled one, yeah?
Yes. This is it's called Ka'ihe Kawila. This is a double-hull sail canoe that Wally Wong and a great group of people from Waikiki Surf Club and friends used this to do the Peleliu voyage.
Wow.
The reenactment of the king, that when he conquered the islands. So this did the crossing of the islands. And then this can hold about 8 to 10 people, and we're teaching people using this vessel as our classroom. So now Scotty Wong has been giving this to us to use it as a classroom for our anybody who's guests, really our kids, our keikis, and by working in partnership, Malama Honua, Hui Malama, and the schools and programs out here, we're really excited about having them to be, this is like a mini Hokulea.
Yes, it is.
And then when they're out there, it's that little island. So when they're out there, we're teaching them all about the historical locations here in Waimanalo. Now we're trying to use this platform to take our people out there. And when I say everybody as a guest, I mean they come from Kailua, Hawkeye, which is our neighbors, even the people from the North Shore to the military, anybody who wants to learn about our community.
Wow.
And you know what? I got to learn. I got to relearn about where I'm from and know, because our kids need to know. And the most important thing that we have found, if we can get them back into understanding where we're from, what we're all about, who we are, and the most, our kuleana, what is my gift? And somebody told me that, Neoli'i said, Scotty, you got to ask these kids, what is their gift? What is the gift they come into not only our culture and our community, but what is the gift to this, where we are, where we're living today? So when they leave, they can leave that for the next generation. Make it where we can teach everything about what this va'a has meant. What is the foods, the stargazing, how to maintain, how to upkeep, and then also as well as what is all the surrounding areas that's important to us. So that's
Scotty, how old is this canoe we're looking at?
This one is not that old. It was built by Jay Dawsett, and the sister boat to this is it was Papahanako'ola with Bonnie Kapeara. And then they use it for a classroom also.
You have some other canoes over here, yeah?
Yes.
Can we walk over and see those?
Okay.
These are all single-hull canoes over here, yeah?
Yes, these are single hulls, and these we use for competition. As we share with the kids, we teach them first some of the language, because when you first come into a va'a, you got to understand that what is, when they say the mo'o, hey, put your hand on the yaku. It's Chinese to us. It's a different language. And I had to relearn it. And I still make mistakes all the time. So we learn and try to practice that of what is the safety factor. So in here we teach them the seats is noho, the rafter that comes out is the yaku, and then you got the ama, the safety device, the flotation, and the mo'o, which is what in America can be gano. But these are some of the common things they're going to be always hearing. So they're going to need to know the language. But the first responsibility as the seat one is the stroker.
Stroker.
Yeah, there's many names for the stroker. Sometimes they kid around, that's the rabbit, because everybody got to chase the rabbit. They got to follow the rabbit.
So this person here is the one that sets the pace of the
Sets
stroke.
the pace.
Gotcha.
That's the one that everybody follows.
They're
And
all looking at this person.
all looking for it, and got to be kini popo, got to be on target, got to
Right.
be where they all hit the water at the same time, and they all exit at the same time. And that's so very important. And that's their role. It's not about muscle, it's about just setting on pace to make the canoe to move the fastest of what the canoe can do. So it's not just going fast, it's about moving the fastest of what the six can do together.
Wow.
And that's so important. Number two, have several responsibilities. First, their role is they're the second stroker. Because the boat is divided, 1, 3, 5 follow each other, 2 and 4 follow each other. So number 2, once again, got to be on point with number 1. So they help control the speed of the boat. The second thing is now you're becoming closer to the pit, where you can start applying power. You're becoming part of the engine. And then the third factor, you're a safety point. Seat 3 and seat 4. Seat 3 is you're in the pit. You're starting the big boys come in and they just work the muscle. They're called upon and they're asked for, when they need power, that's what they do. They just bring in the strength. They work the timing. But number 3, second role, is to do the calls. The call cadence, they have them to do about 10 or 12, and it can vary depending on what situation might be. Might be they're on a wave, they might be going down a wave, they might be having a run, or sometimes they're in competition with each other. They need to pick it up. They need to find that gut check and say, hey, let's pick it up, guys. Number 3, do auto calls. So at that cadence, they call hut, which gives a warning that tells them the next call, oh, they're gonna switch over so they can relax and do the whole thing all over again. Number 4 is, once again, like I said, is a power position. But same rules, number 2, power and safety on top of that. Number 5 is the last of your power. That gentleman is back up the 2 to 4, 2 to 5 is your power people. But number 5's backup position is if it's a rough day, like in Waikiki most times, number 6, the waves might be so strong that the number 6 cannot control the boat. So they might ask for a support. So they say, number 5, poke on the left or poke on the right to help the canoe to actually do what they're expecting. So that's a backup steersman. Number 6 is the captain. He's the navigator, the captain, or the person in charge. If anything goes wrong, he gets the blame. Anything goes right, the whole crew get the blessing. So it's not really always the best person to be inside, yeah.
But 6, the captain, is the one that steers the canoe, yeah?
Yes. So as he steers the canoe, he's looking for things that making the canoe move faster, making them to blend, watching their timing, watching how they breathe, watch how they dip in the water, as well as watching all the conditions. They're looking for waves crossing, waves behind them, looking at the situation, who they can catch up to in the front. So a lot of factors. A steersman has so much responsibility. Before they get in a canoe, they gotta check all conditions of the canoe. Safety factors. Is the valve in? Is the ropes rigged properly? Is it too loose, too tight? Do I have safety bailers inside? Then my team who's working in, is they balance? And then as they're going out there, then the captain becomes the captain and make that crew so they can walk as one. Because if you have 5 different people paddling different times, I'm fighting you, you're fighting me, and the canoe will not work.
Yeah.
I don't care how strong you are.
Yeah, you know, Scotty, I think a lot of us don't realize how incredibly synchronized this has to be. I mean, with like a fine tooth, you know, I mean, really, really sharp.
Yeah.
Wow.
As people come into the canoe, in and out, you got to readjust. Because you might have a power person in 2 and vice versa, or a lighter canoe or a heavier canoe. So every time you have a new person or different conditions, everything is, you always got to be like water and be flexible and change with everything that works out.
Scotty, every single canoe has exactly 6 seats, yes?
Correct.
Because you got to have all 6 positions in the canoe, yeah?
Yes. And in the regatta or the short course races, they have 6-man races where they have all men or all women. And then they have what they call open or mix, where they have men and women in the courses. And a variety of kids go from 8 years old, and then we have older to some paddlers is 80. And you wouldn't believe it, but they rather just go out there and paddle until they die. And they love it that much. Every child who's paddling and with their parents, the child became better.
Wow.
Compared to a parent who's not participating, or a parent who's just want to stay on the side. But when they engage, I mean, even if they're not in the water or they're participating in the canoe, that was really huge for the kids to see the parents see them. And that made a difference with us. So as we do our practices, after the practice on Fridays, we like to have community things where we bring a Friday night movies and we feed all the kids. And then we have them have food, and at the end of it, we have a movie nights, and that's where they can really get to know each other. They get to trust each other, really understand who they are and what makes them tick. So when they go in a canoe, they belong to that crew, and it's about the mission. It's about making this canoe move first. Holomo pukako is the word. We all must work together to move forward.
Wow.
And then that's what's so incredible. So that was really helpful for our kids, not only to become one, but also to be deeply rooted in the program, because not only they found the sport actively exciting, but they found the culture and just the camaraderie. Helped us to build a long-lasting relationship with the families, and it also helped our supporters, our community, the business sector, the nonprofits, really to support us. Because if it wasn't for that relationship, it would be so tough that we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Yeah.
Because our mission of our coach is, I don't care if the parent is not here. I don't care if the parent is on drugs, incarcerated, or they're on a traveling, or they have passed away. It is our responsibility to make sure these kids just be kids and paddle. And it is our responsibility to show them what it all takes to being a part of this family. So we try to go out there in the community and ask of what we can do to sponsor a kid, sponsor an event, or making sure that the kids paddle. So that's why our partnership is so important. So that's what I do. On the Molokai, that's my responsibility. I'm the Portuguese that goes and shakes hands and everybody, you know.
And the line of responsibility is right over here, yeah?
Yes, yes. As soon as they go from this side, that's my twin brother's responsibility. And then you see him giving the fingers and pointing. So it's really exciting. But you see the kids develop, and then they're just being kids. And it's so awesome. And sometimes we just make light of it. We tell them it's not really us as coaches, but we have this beautiful place for practice.
Wow, and it's gorgeous here.
Look at this place.
Who wouldn't want to paddle here?
Yeah, and then we got this reef that protects us from all the elements from out there. We get the turtle pond that's right here, and a historical point where sometimes now, at times, turtles will be popping out here, right on the shoreline. So, I mean, how great we can get that. That's what everybody dream of. That's what postcards are made of.
Exactly.
And that's what we love about being here. So I can sit here and say, you know what, I just really went into that postcard. And that's what everybody dreamed for. So we're excited about that. And then practicing our culture, our sport in our Hawaiian community, I think it doesn't matter about you being Hawaiian. It is about being the Hawaiian in spirit. And then when you get in the VA, that's what it's all about. Because that's what we lost in some sense, that we need to go back to that. Because the world has become where it's iPhones, I speed, I fast, drive through, microwave, so fast. So we're just trying to say, hey, slow down, taste what we have.
So when you get in the va'a and the canoe, that's what it's all about.
Oh, one of the most best times I have is when we go out there in a canoe and we sit and the coach yells out the coordinates of what we're going to race to. Because if you look down here, every lifeguard stand is about a mile. So there's about 2 or 3 down here. Then we go all the way past the rock piles down Delos. But when we get set up and we get ready to, the sun is just breaking, the rays are going across the sky, the water just kisses you on top of the bar. And then when they say reach out, then all your worries are gone. And then you just come in, and when you come in the ocean and you just wash away all of that, you feel so good, so pono. And that's what we're looking for. And then that's what it really is, because sometimes the recreational becomes such inspiring to be invigorated, and it comes to the competition, but it's awesome. It's a great feeling. One of our top racing canoes, which is the Bradley, and this one is called the Hawkeye, that is, a lot of times go across the Molokai.
And we go across the Molokai Channel.
The Molokai Channel.
Which is like the roughest water in the world, yes?
Yes, yes.
That's the most difficult thing to paddle in the entire planet.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is tough, and then you don't have a sail to help you. You don't have a motor.
You just got these right here. That's all you got.
Some guns and just some mental attitude and spirit.
Wow.
So we've been blessed with this canoe, and many times this went over, and we get in our youth growing up where they want to start doing the Molokai.
Wow.
So our 14, 15 girls came of age this past year, and they did the Molokai. So they're super excited about doing it
14, 15-year-old
well,
girls?
now they're 16s when they went over, yeah. So that was the new ruling, because our kids are getting developed and our competition has been increasing. And the competition for Hawaii has been the Tahitians, who are super awesome people, outstanding. They raise the bar, but they start going across long distances at a younger age. So we need to make the game even. So we're taking our kids to more long distance races so they can mentally become stronger.
Scotty, let's talk a little bit more about the history of the canoe, but also about how canoes are treated within the Hawaiian culture. And correct me if I'm wrong, but canoes are treated like another human being, right?
Correct, correct. There's so much mana or spirit in a canoe. And a lot of times you'll see, before a practitioner or kalaiva'a who does canoe carving, he will take the time to talk to the canoe and be one with the canoe and spend days and just sleep with the canoe.
Even before it's carved?
Before even touch. The canoe carver will look at a tree and see the canoe already made. So his spirit and everything must be pono. So he's going to ask permission of the forest.
To take the tree.
To take the tree, life for life, right?
Yeah.
And then what he does is bring life to this canoe, the new life, right? And then in the meantime, as it comes to awakening, even if they do restoration, the canoe carver will take the time to touch the canoe, pray, and really spend that time to seeing what the canoe is asking of them. And then once it becomes a part of a club or a ohana, then that ohana, all people must touch the va'a. And that's what we try to do. If everyone can touch another person, anytime when we do a chant, or anytime that we close or open up a ceremony, or especially touch the canoe before we go out, we do a cheer, and we part of it, we cheer the canoe name. Every canoe has a name, like you and I have a name. And that's one of the spirits that we try to share with the kids. So when we host the kids in the community, we hosted Kapole, we hosted Waimanalo Intermediate, we hosted staff from the principal all the way down to the custodians. And they said, if you're gonna be a part of this community, this is why it's so important to you, to understand what is important to these kids, what is important to the community. So when they come here, they touch the canoe, and we ask them, we're gonna say a prayer, and in the meantime, we do a chant, and then we say the canoe's name out loud, so we wake them up, and we let the spirit arise. So that's what we feel, that every person that touches the canoe, you're a part of the canoe.
And the canoe is part of you, yes?
Correct. And especially if it's a koa, which is one of the most rarest wood you can have. As you know, you cannot cut a koa. It must fall before you can take the wood for it.
That importance of the canoe in the culture today, that was exactly the same importance of the canoe back in pre-contact Hawaiian society, yes?
Yeah, and that's when we learned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we go from generation to generation, you're looking at things that, why we do things like that? Because that's our tradition. And that was only to respect everything that we have. Because it was very limited. You don't have tons of land. You don't have tons of mountains. It's a place where everything is limited, so it's appreciated. And that's the word we need to always share with our kids. The value of what we have here is appreciation. It's so, rare and unique to have.
A simple canoe, something as simple as these canoes right here, have really had an impact around the world, yes?
Yeah. Yes. And then with some of the greatest things that we do, we open up the invitation. First of all, we have our regattas, which is one of the largest one, like I shared, is down the road where we have the largest regatta, which is the arts and craft of Hawaii, games of Hawaii, music of Hawaii. We're competing with the people of all of these countries, all of the different states. And then the competition for the best comes back to Hawaii, because this is the pico. This is where it all starts.
This is the center right here.
This is the center. This is where everything begins and ends. You want to meet the best, you come to Hawaii.
Wow.
Because even Tahitians come here and make their mark here. We got the people from Japan come here. We got the Brazilians and everybody so forth. The roughest race, you come here. The best of the best come here. And you want to go to the root of the culture where we are sharing it with the rest of the world, this is where we're at right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking about the roughest race, let's talk a little bit about that race, the Molokai Channel.
Yeah.
How in the world do you prepare a human being, a canoe paddler, to cross that channel when that is literally the roughest water on the planet?
When I first started, it was late to doing the Molokai Hoi because I used to fear the water.
Yeah.
And I love paddling since I was 8 years old. However, crossing a channel, thinking of the word sharks and everything, then somebody just dared us. And then we saw my twin, and I saw my older brother, Omadu, who did it first. And he said, if he can do it, we can do it, right? So that brotherly competition came out, and we all went across together, all three of us, and that was it. We got stuck on it. So we loved it to this day. And then we try to just share it, and then we meet so much great people and friends and family that's out there that they become our family. But to do that, you're training 5 to 6 days a week. You might have a day off, but that's when you're sleeping, you know what I mean? And then the other times you're running, you're lifting weights, which is now more common, and then you're actually swimming, and then you're actually doing 10 to 15 miles. And it builds to 20 to 30 miles. And they build you up to that. And what they're trying to do is they're building you really mentally. Physically, it's gonna come. They got a program that anybody can work on. But when you get into the Molokai, you don't know what to expect. You got waves I saw sometimes when they're just leaving the port, 8 to 15 foot waves.
Whoa.
They never even got on the finish, on the starting line.
Whoa.
And it was crazy. And then we're a novice paddler, we might be excited. So then we're going all the way to the finish part of when you're doing a race and there's no wind, you're in the desert. It's all manpower. So that comes on your mind. Then you get days when you get 20 foot waves that we did at the time. And it's like, oh my God, how can anybody even see us?
Yeah.
You only hear a voice on the other side of the wave, and you're on this side, but you don't see nothing but walls of wave.
Walls of water.
Walls of water. Sometimes you feel like Moses. And that's how incredible. But the feeling, you can never take it away.
How impressive it is, not only today, but back in the old days, the precision you have to have, not only in your body, but right up here.
Yes.
Because back in the old days, if you didn't have that precision, that canoe may not have ever come back.
Yeah.
And today, if you don't have that precision, you don't make it across the Molokai Channel, or you don't win that race.
Yes. Or the split seconds. I saw a race. It went all the way to the wire, and you just did 41 miles, and the last 100 yards, you come to the bottleneck in front of Hilton Hawaiian Village, and you're in a sprint. Your body's aching, it's screaming. The lactic acid is screaming out of your body, and you're trying to just get there, and the other canoe is thinking the same thing. Not today. I'm going to be the winner. So it's like, that's the greatest thing going on right now.
Wow, what an amazing inspiration. Scotty, thank you so much. That's where we have to leave it. This is amazing. I don't even want to leave these canoes because these are family members,
Yes. This is our ohana right here.
This is our ohana right here. Great.
Thank
What a
you very
wonderful
much.
message. Mahalo for being on Voices of Truth. Please don't stop. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
And mahalo to our viewers for joining Scotty and me in Waimanalo Beach here. Remember, you can watch us on the web 24/7 on voicesoftruthtv.com, and you can like Voices of Truth One-on-One with Hawaii's Future on Facebook. I'm Ahu Kahu Cardwell for the Kiwani Foundation, along with Scotty here, and until next time, ahui ho!
Ahui ho.
Mahalo for watching Voices of Truth One-on-One with Hawaii's Future. Watch us on the web 24/7 at voicesoftruthtv.com. You'll find all our shows, including this one, in case you want to see it again or share it with family and friends. Also view our weekly video commentaries at freehawaiitv.com. And check out our blog, published daily, at freehawaii.info. It's all part of the Free Hawaii Broadcasting Network.